is actually abduction and hijacking, free fall to the abyss of the rule of the jungle. This is actually a very dark moment.
Greenland will be the next target.
The United States strikes Venezuela on January 3rd. Later, Donald Trump threatens, if she doesn't do what's right, she's going to pay a very big price. On January the 5th, the United Nations declared Venezuela has entered a critical moment. Why Venezuela?
Why the United States targeted Venezuela?
What the United States did to President Maduro and the First Lady of Venezuela, using the exact term of the Venezuela government, is actually abduction and hijacking. It's not capturing. I think, despite of all the excuses coming up with the United States, for example, anti-drug operations, you name it, what really drove the United States to such extreme was President Trump's desire to capture the largest oil reserve in the world, 2025. President Trump described the oil reserve in Venezuela as American oil, which was shocking to everyone. It is plundering. Can you come up with a better word than plunder? So I think the world is faced with a very dangerous United States, which wants to capture and plunder the assets of other countries, plunder the wealth of other countries, regardless of all the principles, etc. Now, I remember for many years and many decades, the United States called itself as the beacon on the top of the mountain, guiding other nations, guiding other people. But now, by committing such wanton acts of aggression and invasion and violations of all international principles you can think about, I'm afraid the United States right now is in a free fall from the top of the mountain to the abyss of the rule of the jungle. So most people in the world would look at this and say, this is not the bright moment for the United States. This is actually a very dark moment.
Yes, I agree with you. It is a dangerous and a dark moment for the United States. But do you think the United States strike on Venezuela actually indicate its influence in Latin American countries is declining?
He declared that he wants to dominate in the Americas. He even proposed to have his own doctrine, which is called a Donald Trump doctrine, to replace the Monroe Doctrine. And if what President Trump and the United States did to Venezuela and President Maduro is any kind of indication of what this Donald Trump doctrine will be, it is an act of aggression. It is an act of plundering the other country's wealth and assets. So I think the United States will face a lot of resistance and upheaval in the Western Hemisphere. So the Donald Trump doctrine may not bring peace and stability to the Americas at all. It may create all the upheaval and the instability in the Americas. And then for the rest of the world, we are at a crossroads right now.
During Donald Trump's interview with The Atlantic, and Donald Trump stressed the United States needs Greenland absolutely. So do you think Greenland will be the next target?
No one knows. No one knows. I think you simply cannot behave based on what you need. You need to start your behavior by respecting the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of other countries in this particular case. So I think Greenland is very much on the playbook of President Trump. But if the United States will do what they did to Venezuela to Greenland, again, I think it will add another sad chapter to this Donald Trump doctrine, and it will accelerate the end of the Pax Americana.